Welcome to Interschutz 2026 in Hanover, Germany, where Fire Middle East magazine is very excited to be here presenting on the show floor and joined by Fomtec at their stand and their regional sales manager for the Middle East and North Africa, Even Ottesen. Evan, thanks for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
It's a really impressive stand.
It's been in the works for 4 years now, so I'm glad we pulled through. It looks really great.
It looks phenomenal. And I'm excited to find out more about what's been happening at Fomtec since we last met, which was in Dubai in January.
Yeah.
So you launched Enviro NEO there.
Yeah.
What's the response to that been like since January?
We've had a very good response. Not in terms of getting this millions of liters of the product out the door, but we have started to sell it. What we're seeing now is that compliance managers and people higher up in the food chain are looking at the product, and they find all of the certifications and approvals very interesting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly is a very well certified and highly approved product. What does this mean for the future of NEO when you are conducting your fire tests?
For NEO, we know that the product is it's really great. It has a very high performance, and we're seeing that when we're testing with EN. We're going to continue our EN testings, adding more fuels to the list. With UL, we're going to add more hardware as time goes on, possibly even some sprinklers. Right now, it's mainly low-level discharge devices, foam makers and chambers, but we see that the product has potential in the sprinkler market as well. So more fuels, more hardware.
Let's talk about the testing side of things then, Evan. What exactly is Fomtec doing to test in NEO and the whole Enviro range beyond the standard, and how does this ultimately benefit the end user?
So what we're seeing and what we're not really happy with is the narrowness of the test standards. It's great because it's a standard. It has to be standardized. But our end users, especially in the region, in the Middle East, they experience higher ambient temperatures than we have in Europe. So we try to go outside the standards, test on the hottest day of the year to see how that affects performance, and we can show that data to the end user. We're going to try and go outside the standards, especially when it comes to application rates, because we see that different fuels require more foam put on the surface. So for especially difficult fuels, we might go away from the 6.5 liters per minute or the 11.2 liters per minute and go up as far as we need to go to get to the point where we can actually show when the foam extinguishes on that specific fuel. So it's a matter of temperature, it's a matter of hardware again, it's a matter of different fuels require different strategies, which we've all seen now. The new products, they are good, but they need to be applied in a specific way.
Absolutely. I think that's really interesting as well, Evan. You mentioned about going outside and testing on the hottest day of the year in the Nordics compared to the Middle East. So obviously you need to do that and achieve these testing standards to help meet the needs of that customer in very different regions. What are the sort of challenges then that fluorinated foams face in a market where other foams have been in place for so many years and now need to be replaced?
It all depends on how far you're willing to stretch it. Because if you want to go completely fluorine-free, then there's a lot of stuff you have to do. You have to look at the tank, you have to look at the concentrate pipe, the proportioner, the discharge device, even all of the piping going from the proportioner to the discharge device needs to be looked into. And cleaning has gotten very good in the last couple of years with the cleaning agents and the flushing. So I would say that first and foremost, you need to look at your proportioning. That's going to be point number one. Is my proportioner going to be able to proportion the new stuff? In most cases, I would say no. And then you need to look at the tank. Is it worth cleaning it or just replacing it? And then again, you're looking at all of the waste material going out from all of the different end users. And if the system is proportioned in such a way that they're using 6.5 liters per minute now, and now they have to increase it to 8.5 or 11.2, how is that dimensioning going to work? And is your system capable of raising its application rate maybe 30-40%. It's going to be a difficult transition, but luckily we have a couple of years while we can still supply the fluorinated product and then come in and assist with the fluorine-free as and when they're ready.
Wonderful. Now, last but not least, Evan, just before this, I was meeting with one of the doctors here at Fomtec, and he was showing me the foam prediction tool. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah. So what we have experienced is that before we were looking at the fuels in groups. We had the hydrocarbons, the polar solvents, the acid, the ketones, the esters, all of that. We know now that we can't really be looking at fuel groups anymore. You can't say we extinguished on acetone, so then it's okay for all ketones. That's not how it works with fluorine-free. So what we do is that we have made a prediction tool where you can put in a CAS number, and then it will spit out let's call it a prescription. And through that prescription, we will recommend, based on either calculations we've made, and it's third-party tested as well, so it's not only our opinion, what we would recommend going in with. Because we can't test on 10,000 different fuels. So it's made with a baseline of 3,500 fire tests. Yeah. And then based on that, we have seen we can predict how the fuel will react with the foam and if it's a foam killer or not. So when an end user comes to us with a long list of 20 to 100 different fuels, we can use our prediction tool to get them a proper answer instead of just putting our finger in the air and getting a feel for it.
Fantastic. Well, it's really phenomenal to see the progress that Fomtec continues to make with hardware, with software, with obviously the technology and the chemistry behind what you offer. So Evan, thanks very much for talking us through that. A pleasure to see you at Interschutz, and I'm sure that our audience will look forward to seeing you again at events in the Middle East region very soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well.
Definitely. Thanks, Evan.
Yeah, thank you.